Hello. Today I'm going to talk about conscious thought. You only use 10% of your conscious thought. The other 90% is involuntary. And how does it pertain to weight loss and weight gain? All right. The more you focus on your weight, all right, that goes into your fight or flight. All right. Your fight or flight is your body's self-defense mechanism. So when you constantly focus on losing weight, all right, but don't follow through with it and break it up between weight gain and weight loss, your subconscious thought is going to materialize that. And your subconscious, the 90% of your brain that you don't use, that's involuntary, is going to start sending messages to itself. And it knows when you go on weight loss binges, that the body is suffering. And it knows when you stop, the body is excelling. But you don't allow yourself to get unhealthily fat. Before you start your next weight loss binge. So what you're essentially doing is that you're putting into the 90% of your involuntary flow of your brain, your brain, basically the involuntary part of your brain. That 90% is saying when you're on a weight loss binge, you're losing weight, but the body is suffering. The brain is slowing down. The body is slowing down. You're not getting the necessary nutrition that you should be getting. Versus when you stop, which after so many pounds, you will start eating again, and your body feels good, and your body is like, okay. You do that so many times, it becomes repetitive. All right. Weight loss, weight gain, weight loss, weight gain, weight loss, weight gain. So what ends up happening is your body is going to start storing that energy. And once that energy is, once your body starts to store the energy, you're going to start putting on weight. All right. And you do that for so long, your body eventually knows that it needs reserved energy. And reserved energy is in fat. All right, so your body will start to store fat. And basically, it's like a double-edged sword. You're basically hurting yourself by focusing on how much weight you put on and how much weight you lose. Where men don't really have that problem so much because we don't focus on our weight, how much we weigh, how much we eat, how much we do this, how much we do that. I mean, I could put it into money. If your sole focus is money, once you become successful, you would want to continue to make money. And now you want to talk about weight loss and weight gain. All right, if your sole focus is to lose weight, then there's only so much weight you can lose before it becomes like detrimental for your health. So you have to stop at some point. All right, and then your body will start to put that weight back on. So it's not it's not the same thing. So you can continue to make money for the rest of your life, but you cannot continue to lose weight for the rest of your life because it'll kill you. All right. So, and relationships, like if you get in, when women tend to get into relationships, they want a relationship. They want to spend time and be in a relationship. And once they do that, they stop focusing on their how they look on the exterior portions of themselves. They stop focusing on that, and they start building a nest for family. And subconsciously, when it comes to weight gain and weight loss, when a woman starts to build a nest for a family, and they have children, etc., everything they did before is now in that 90% of that involuntary portion of your brain. And that involuntary portion of the brain has now told your body that it needs to store energy just in case you go on a weight loss binge because it needs that energy. And it kind of hurts, I think, women in a lot of ways because they don't even acknowledge it. I mean, your conscious thought, it does have an influence on your fight or flight mechanism, and weight loss is a fight or flight mechanism. Weight gain and weight loss. And that has a lot to do with MK Ultra, like what I was talking about the other day with your fight or flight, whether you choose to acknowledge it or not. But the more you focus on something, the more it goes into your subconscious. Alright, just like your subconscious thought can be influenced into thought, your conscious thought can be influenced into your subconscious. That's why they torture people, and that's the whole point of torturing people, is to make that conscious experience subconscious. That's the activation for sleeper soldiers. They torture them, and they make that conscious thought of what they're going through subconscious, and then they could just use the phone and the wireless network, which is sound without mass, to influence your subconscious to make it conscious, which will eventually result in action. Same thing pertains to weight loss. Your conscious thought and weight loss goes to your subconscious, and your subconscious will relay that to other portions of your brain and body. To basically what is the best, outcome. What is most healthy as far as that part of the brain sees. And if it sees that it's struggling during your weight loss, and it sees once you stop deciding to lose weight and you start to eat and the body has more energy in it, and it's thriving, that body's thinking like this energy is good, so it wants to store that energy. And when the body starts to store that energy turns into fat. And then you look at yourself and you're like, oh, I'm putting on too much fat. So now you need to lose it. And the body knows, like, oh, you're going to start dieting again. You're going to stop eating. So all that stored energy is going to be energy for you when you go on that energy strike. And that comes from a different portion of your brain. It doesn't. It's not an intelligent portion of the brain. All it knows is like, I need energy, and I might get starved, so I need to store energy. And then you start to gain weight when you're not dieting. The thing is, when it comes to dieting, it needs to be steady. It has to be a routine. It has to be consistent. For instance, if you want to start dieting, you basically eat the same exact thing every day for the rest of your life. Not the same exact thing. Obviously, you want to mix it up, but whatever you decide to eat, whether it be a salad, eggs, butter and toast, a hamburger, a steak, etc., etc., those 3 meals that you give yourself throughout the day, and a variety of those 3 meals that you give yourself throughout the week, will be consistent for your entire life without fault. And I can guarantee you, you will not gain weight and you will not lose weight. You will keep your figure throughout your entire life.
That's horrible, though, to keep you with same weight.
I
Things for the rest of your life.
I understand that you don't want to keep it. I mean, you make a variety of things. Let's say you make like you have a list of like 40 meals that you eat within a week. I mean, how many meals is there in this? 7, 14, 21. All right, so let's say you have 40 meals for the course of 2 weeks. Those 40 meals are the only meals that you're going to eat for your entire life, outside of when you decide to go out and whining and dining. All right, but once you get finished whining and dining, those 40 meals are consistent for your entire life, and you will maintain whatever weight you desire from those meals. It can't be start, stop, stop, start, start, stop, stop, start, because that will go into a fight or flight mechanism into your subconscious, and your subconscious will start to store that energy, and that energy that is storing is fat. And that part of your brain doesn't understand. It can't comprehend. It's not an intelligent portion of your brain. Like, your brain makes your heart beat. It's involuntary. You want to raise your hand to the sky. You saying, "Oh, I'm raising my hand to the sky," but every other portion of your brain that is making your body do that is involuntary. It's a very small percentage of your brain that is lifting your arm up to the sky.
Yeah.
The rest of it is involuntary. That one little small percent of your brain activates the rest of your brain to lift your arm up. Same thing applies to weight loss and weight gain. Anyways, I wanted to make a short video on this. The short video I wanted to make was be consistent. Inconsistency will make you fat. Alright? If you just don't care about it at all and you don't focus on it at all like men do, the likelihood of you getting fat is pretty low. Don't get me wrong, there's fat men out there. I mean, there's biology, and some people's biology makes them gain weight, where other people it doesn't. But I do know the more that you focus on it, your brain starts to change your biology based off of your conscious thought. That would be the involuntary 90% of your brain. Dolphins, on the other hand, use 20% of the frontal cortex. That's why they're considered telekinetic, where they can speak to themselves, to each other, without actually using words. They do use echolocation to find food and stuff, and they do have a language through their echolocation. But it has been theorized that dolphins can actually speak to themselves, to each other through telekinesis. They made a movie, I think it was like 10, 20, 30, 100%, where you use 100% in your brain. If you're using 100% in your brain, you need to tell your heart to beat constantly. That's why you don't use 100% of your brain, you only use 10%. I mean, we could use 20%. I think it varies from person to person. Some people might only use 2%, where others might use 20%, but the average is 10%. And just keep in mind that other 90% is going to benefit you or hinder you based off of your conscious actions. Just keep that in mind. That's all I wanted to say for today. Have a good day. All right. Bye-bye.